Today I'm going to be talking all about how to get rid of bloating and doing a little bit of a detox. It worked for me this week, so I hope it works for you. I am not a medical professional. I am not a nutritionist. If you have any underlying health conditions, you really should talk to a professional. I'm just giving you guys my experience throughout the week on how I got rid of some bloating and did a bit of a detox. Let's dive straight into it. Number 1, stress. I feel like you're one from Schitt's Creek. David. I'm here to tell you guys all about why stress is one of the reasons you're probably bloated right now. At the start of this week, I put myself under so much pressure and that was silly. I started making these crazy plans and then I had all this other work that I was doing on the side because I'm currently looking for a job, which is so stressful. And when I wasn't achieving those things, I have a pass-fail mentality, whereas if I'm not 100% passing, then I've 100% failed, which makes no sense because I was a C student throughout school. I was very average. I barely put in any effort and I didn't care back then. But for some reason in adulthood, have taken on this mentality of you have to be perfect and it's just not healthy. So I decided to scrap that idea. I actually called a friend and we met up and we had a long chat about it and she gave me very good advice. If you are feeling very overwhelmed, putting yourself under too much pressure and trying to be perfect, take a step back. What is actually going to work for you? Instead of trying to do 50 exercises a day, why don't you just go for a walk and achieve that one thing this week? You need to not stress, and you're going to stress yourself out if you try and achieve absolutely everything on this. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that you are trying and you are succeeding just by trying. So I took the stress of these huge plans and I threw them out the window. The second I took that pressure off of myself and that stress and that anxiety and that overwhelming feeling, the next day I dropped 2 pounds. You know, it's not that easy to just click your fingers and stop stressing, but stress is a huge reason why you are probably bloated. I recommend doing some things to help yourself to de-stress. If it is yoga, great. If it's meditation, if it's reading a book, even if it's like watching Netflix for a couple hours, whatever it is that makes your brain just calm down and breathe. That's what you need to do. You need to calm the waves inside your head. Just one thing, just literally one thing. My one thing was the walks. This walks does help me de-stress. So whatever it is, pick that and do that. Number 2, exercise. So I know I was like, oh my god, exercise, crazy, blah. But if you are the kind of person who can exercise and you don't get stressed out about the idea of exercise, unlike myself, then exercise is definitely the best way to help yourself get rid of bloating. So you're going to want to do some yoga, some cardio, anything like cardio and skipping. It's going to get the movement going, like up and down, bouncing motions. Like they're very good for, getting it. You get me. But just try do something that gets you moving throughout the day, even if it's just going up and down your stairs a few times or doing some squats, just something to kind of help the movement. Which brings us, I'm sorry I'm rushing through these. I actually have a few things I want to show you guys and I don't want this video to be too long because it'll just get boring. The last one is food and fluids. So everything I looked at that had to do with bloating said that peppermint tea is actually very good for getting rid of that bloated feeling. I don't know why, I don't know the science behind it. You feel fresh after it. Maybe it's because it relaxes you. I have a lot of lemon, as you can see, that's a full lemon. I put 1 lemon in this liter bottle every day and I drink 2 to 3 liters a day. For me, I am currently trying to repair my relationship with food. I'm never ever going to tell you what food is good and what food is bad, because food is not good or bad. Food is food. Your relationship with food is probably good or bad. You can have everything in moderation. If you have 10 tubs of Ben & Jerry's, that's obviously not good for you. Not because Ben & Jerry's is bad, but because you ate too much of it. So this week, you're not going to tell yourself that you can't have food. Yes, 100% you can have whatever you want. More about just having things in moderation and just trying to introduce foods with antioxidants in them and foods that are going to just help with that bloating. Try to introduce those foods in lots of different ways. I'm going to show you 2 recipes that I used this week. So we're going to use some extra virgin olive oil, literally just a splash of it. You're going to add in your courgettes. I spiralized some courgette and I chopped up some tomato. I don't measure vegetables. It's just as much as you want. Veg is always good for you, so the more the merrier. Courgettes are full of antioxidants as well, and tomatoes, it's like eating water, like they're so good for you.
and you just want to give them a quick mix around in the pan, and then you're going to add your egg mixture. In my egg mixture, I have turmeric, basil, cayenne pepper, normal pepper, and sesame oil with 2 eggs. And you're going to give your pan a shake so it covers all the vegetables. And then you're going to push down the sides to let in air underneath your omelette, because otherwise it will all just stick to the pan, especially to the sides. This is going to go into the grill, and just, I don't know why, like, I don't know the facts behind it, but anything I read said you should always kind of lift up the edges of your omelette a little bit to let a little air in so it cooks more evenly. So that's me just lifting up the edges of it, and give it a bit of a spin and lift up the edges again. It gets a little stuck there. And this pan is also not a non-stick pan. All our non-stick pans are no longer non-stick. So that's me just putting it into the grill, and you're going to just leave it in the grill until it's cooked on top. I don't really time anything or measure anything. That's it, finished there, and looks really good. And that's the finished product. It looks so yummy and tasted amazing. For this dish, we're going to use coconut oil. That's fennel and garlic. Again, guys, I really don't measure anything. I just, as much as you want, like I use like 6 cloves of garlic in this. I just love garlic. But fennel has a bit of a lemony taste, and you're just going to give it a mix in the coconut oil. Now you're going to add your chicken in, and you're going to kind of coat the chicken with the coconut oil and the garlic and the fennel, because there's lovely flavors off all of those. And you're going to cook it until it's pretty much all white, and just give it a good mix in the pan. And then we're going to put in some garlic powder. I love garlic. And then you're going to put in some basil, loads of basil. Basil apparently is very good for antioxidants, so I put a significant amount of basil in the dish. And then we're going to go off and we're going to get some cayenne pepper. Don't use too much cayenne, it will just ruin the flavor of the dish. Just a sprinkle, just to add some more antioxidants into it. Cayenne's very good for the digestive system. And you're going to give that all a mix together and coat your chicken in it and your veggies, and just keep cooking until the chicken is fully cooked through. So that can take a little bit of time, but it's good. Oh, and I forgot to put pepper in. So a little bit of pepper. Pepper actually is probably one of the main things that gives it a bit of flavor in it. Then you're going to add your tomatoes, as much tomatoes as you want. And you're going to give that all a mix again. You're going to try and get all the seasoning onto the tomatoes. At this stage, your chicken should be fully cooked through. Add some stock, chicken stock. I put 1 cube of chicken stock in a cup, give it a mix, but I only put a tiny bit of stock in. And if you feel like you need to add more, do, but you more than likely won't. Otherwise, it's going to be very liquidy. Then you're going to put your spinach in, some cheese. The spinach is cooked down there as well, so add as much cheese as you want. And this is going to just thicken up the dish a bit as well and add a bit of flavor to it. If you're lactose intolerant, obviously just leave the cheese out, or if you don't want cheese, you don't have to have it. It's just, I just like the flavor. And then we put in our zucchini. Hi mom. And then we're going to cook in our zucchini. So instead of spaghetti, I use zucchetti, whatever you want to call it. And this kind of, I didn't realize, but this wilts down a lot. So there, it's all mixed together, and that is the finished product.
If you want to see any other recipes or food ideas that I come up with to do with de-bloating and lots of other things, follow me on Instagram. I post pretty much daily, and I'm challenging myself now to post my breakfast, lunch and dinner every single day with a recipe, so that you guys have more healthy options in your life. So with bloating, guys, I highly recommend not skipping any of your meals. It is not going to help you. You want to have your breakfast, lunch and dinner. Generally, I try to just have a lot of protein, a lot of veg, and just a smaller amount of carbs. I don't weigh or measure anything, and I don't count calories. If you're able to do that, that's absolutely fine. I just recommend being very careful. People can become quite obsessed with the number. That can have a very negative effect on your relationship with food. If you want to count calories, no problem. I stopped it. It just wasn't healthy for me. As I told you before, I was getting very overwhelmed, and I have a pass-fail mentality. On the days that I wasn't able to track those calories, hit the fail button and I ate everything. So instead now I just eat a breakfast, lunch and dinner, and I still have my snacks. I just try to eat clean, but I don't tell myself I can't have something. Next week I'm going going to be attempting to do the natural curl with the t-shirt where you get all the mousses and lightweight stuff and you try and find out what number curl you are. So at the end of next week, I'm going to show you exactly how that turned out. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, if you're interested in that. It's down there. It's that red button, wherever it is, with the bell notification. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and leave myself a comment and let me know how you like to de-bloat. Maybe share some antioxidant recipes if you have them. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye.